Hi, it's Matt. Just wanted to do a post about 9 ways that you can avoid seeing your physio or your other therapist. So these are ways that you can actually help prevent injury. Now, it's actually impossible to prevent injury. All we can do is reduce the risk. So these are 9 ways you can reduce the risk of getting injured, therefore needing to get some assistance with that. Number 1 is sleep. So sleep is massive. It's a huge contributor to injury. The studies have found that if you sleep for less than 8 hours a night, you have over a 60% risk of injury compared to if you do sleep for 8 hours or more. So this is down to the fact that you don't recover as well, that your balance and coordination are not as good, so you tire a lot easier, therefore predisposing you to an increased risk of injury. The next one is exercise. Now, with exercise, there are standards from the World Health Organization in terms of 2 strength sessions a week and 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise that you complete per week. So if you're completing that, you already reduce your risk of not just injury but also various health problems. So actually finding something that you enjoy, that you exercise and you keep and do regularly and consistently is a way to reduce injury. So exercise is very important. Number 3 is diet. So if you eat your recommended portions of fruit and veg, and obviously your carbohydrates, your mix of proteins, whether or not that's from vegetarian or vegan or from meat sources, that also reduces your risk of injury by over 60%. And that's just because your muscles and your tendons and everything regenerate with the right fuels. So eating the right thing has a huge impact on your injury risk. Now, the next one is probably different to what people think, and it's called training hard. So if you train hard, you've actually got a lot reduced risk of injury during matches. So during a match or competitive event, you've got a 10 times risk of injury compared to training. And what you find is that people don't actually train hard enough. So what happens is the gap between training and playing is so large that when they play, they tend to tweak things or pull things because they aren't prepared. So you need to train hard and only go up in 25% increments of your volume. So in terms of intensity or speed or distance, is to keep your increments gradual and steady. Any big changes, our bodies don't like that, and that can again increase our risk of injury. The next one is strength training. So I've gone through this quite a few times, but strength training reduces injuries by around 50%. So having strength, not size, not mass, we're not trying to make you big and strong or muscular. We're trying to allow your tissues and your muscles to be able to cope with the demands of your game. So it can be body weight, but ideally if you add some kind of external load on, such as a dumbbell or a barbell or something external, so you can actually put some relative force through your body so it's prepared for your training. The next one is consistency. Now, our bodies love consistency, so if you keep the levels at the same and don't kind of mix up what you do too much or change or take a week off and then go back into it full pelt, it's very important that your body is used to a consistency in terms of a training and some built on some rest days and some lighter days, but the consistency is really, really key. Another one I see people not covering really well is balance. Now, balance training is not just important for ankle injuries, so that reduces your ankle injury risk by 1/3, but also has a reduction of your risk for knee injuries, for back problems. And what that's doing is basically you're training your muscles to be able to find out where you are in space. It's called proprioception, and really important that you'll have a great awareness of your body and where it is and how to deal with different knocks or bumps or different terrains that you stand on. So balance training is really a key one to work on. If you are a competitive athlete or you have competitive cycles, it's really important you have 1 month in your cycle that you have a rest and you really take things down, because we find that people that train right through the year, their bodies don't have chance to rest. You really run the risk of burning out and picking up your overuse injuries like your tendon injuries or your muscle strains or things that are potentially preventable. So always factor in a rest month. The final one is you need to train the way you move. So you need to either work on yoga. I run a class that helps people get fitter, stronger and more supple. So that class or a class of similar type is really important. You to stretch out the muscles that become tight during your everyday activities in your sport. give yourself the right balance and the strength in different areas. So it's really, really important to train the way you move. So that's the 9 ways to reduce the risk of seeing your physiotherapist. I will list those 9 ways in the comment section below, in the section below. Any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you.